Hey, do you ever ask yourself, what's God's call upon my life? Man, I sure did. For years, probably 10 to 15 years of my adult life, I spent in anguish and anxiety wondering if I was in the will of God. And if you're at all like this, I want to put some things to rest right now. Now, see, I grew up in a church environment, and although everyone was well-intentioned, I heard over and over, God's got a call on your life. And then, although it wasn't necessarily said this way, it kind of came off this way, that if you're really special, God may call you to a life of ministry. Oh, how exciting to think that I could be special for God. And so if you would have known me in my late teens, I would have told you I was called to ministry. And it's not that I actually ever heard a voice, it's that I liked serving people, I liked being a part of projects, and I wanted to be special for God, so I thought ministry was my path, my calling. Problem is, it never worked out in the sense that I thought it would have worked out at that time. Now, for years, I've done ministry in a volunteer or a part-time level, and I minister within my job daily as it stands today. But if the picture is different than what I thought it would have been back in my late teens, coming out of high school and going into college. Now, if you're like me and you've struggled with this calling of God, I want to clarify a couple things that I finally learned, and it took me way too long, but I hope to help you quickly. Number one, the calling of God is quite simple. It's found in the New Testament where they say, hey, Jesus, what's the greatest commandment? And he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart. And the second of these is this, love your neighbor as yourself. You are in the will of God if you are doing simply that, loving God, loving people, and leading them to the kingdom. It is that simple. I don't think God cares what work or occupation you have. I really don't. As long as you love Him and love people while you're doing it. So how do I find maybe my perfect path, or is there a perfect job for me, a job that God's designed for me? The answer is I don't really think so, as far as a specific job. But I do believe we can find God's calling for our life, not in a mystical, mysterious voice, but we can find it in our natural design. See, there are assessments out there that will help you understand your natural behaviors and your natural personality. And these are great indicators of how you respond to certain circumstances in life, how you respond in the way you see the world and how you experience the world, and how you like to even go about participating in the world. And we are all designed with unique passions and strengths that make us absolutely uniquely wonderful, but at the same time make us completely different from everyone else. Now, see, if we can embrace our design the way that God made us and then put ourselves in an occupation where that can be used for good, and also put us in a situation where we can love God and love other people, I believe you are in the will of God. So I hope that will help you today, as it's helped me finally come to the conclusion that I'm exactly where God wants me, and that is okay.